What's up, everybody? My name's Slinky here with a new video. Before we get into it, guys, I want to let you guys know the latest tournament video that I was planning on making, unfortunately, is corrupted, so I could not record or I could not edit it. So unfortunately, I'm unable to do that video. No worries, guys. We will get this month's tournament in. It is next weekend. All right. Now we got that out of the way. Welcome to my base, guys, and there's going to be two videos that will come out on this world. This is Bloom SMP, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to show you guys. I'm going to have several videos in the next probably 6 to 8 weeks that come out about my base, the history of Bloom SMP, specifically the Pain Wars. Those who are involved, I will DM you guys specifically for a picture of your skin so I can put that in my editing. Alright, guys, now that we got that out of the way, tour of my base, and I'm going to be honest, guys, this is kind of my humble beginnings. You guys see all this stuff, but this little path here that you see, this is this tree right here, a little history of this base. This tree is an original make. Those torches have not been touched. And this build right here, these are original builds. Everything else you see has been added by me. So please, guys, if you guys are ever interested with how the history of my base came along, I'd recommend my Twitch channel, as that does show some of the progress of the Valley of Wheat. I will try to put pictures in here, guys, but there's no guarantee I'll get to those specifically with the valley. All right, so guys, I want to let you guys know this was my first house, and I had 2 villagers. And then with the 2 villagers, I actually lost one to a zombie villager, and so I had to wait forever and ever to get a zombie villager, and I got one from the mine shaft down there. But that's just a little bit of the history of it. I always like to share this before I start things like this because I think it's just interesting to know how bases start. Because if bases start one way and then people make changes to it, people forget that the original builds were not originally there. The Mojang stuff wasn't here. The stripped logs were not originally there. The pots were not originally here. The little banners here were not here. And yeah, I eventually add this sign, but this was my humble beginnings. And before I get into my whole base, a lot of this path you see that's up here, over here, and down there, it goes all the way down to about where those trees are. And then, there's a bunch of add-ons, and I'll show you guys where those add-ons are. But a lot of these path blocks, those were originally here already. So I did not originally make make all these pathing. A lot of this was already here. Like I think 70% of the paths were here already. So that's the start of how this base got going. All right, now we go to the base tour, guys, and there's kind of 3 different parts of my base tour. And because the base tour is so long, we will include the west side of my base, but that's going to be very, very late, honestly, because that's just how it is. All right, now let's get to the base tour now, because we're 4 minutes in, and I've just done a little history of it, because a lot of people, especially new players, don't know how my base started, so I have to have that inclusion in here. Guys, Cow Crusher, big time favorite. It's one of my favorite things. It's always in all my bases on Minecraft. And yeah, it's a nice source of food. I don't really use it much anymore because I have villagers. But when I first started getting food, this was my main food source. And wheat was one of the biggest problems I had. So that's why I wanted to, you'll see later on the Valley of Wheat. But this was my original first source. So steak was a big important thing for me. Now we come to the chicken farm. This thing is full, guys. Like, this thing is outright full. And you can see out here it's full as well. So, yeah, a lot of this section, pretty simple. And here's my little original base here. All right. Down here we have our task board, and you guys will see that there's some empty stuff here. Uh, in the comment section, what would you want to see me build on this base? Now, here on the east side of the base, I still have a couple of projects with a couple of, what are they called? Fossils. That's what they're called. They're called fossils. I have a couple fossils by the Ellie Beth and Coco. Both those players I don't quite see often anymore, but Coco was the original the original founder. Wow, the original founder of the first fossil. So you guys will get to see a treat of that in the near future. It is unfortunately not here at my base. But if you guys have some ideas you'd like to see me build, I'd love to add them, honestly. I've kind of ran out of ideas originally, so few spots of, and I say the finish the Valley of Wheat, that's a long-term project. That's a long-term project. Still can give a little bit of colors to the hot air balloons. And then make another town is, I'm kind of in that process right now, so, and then I'm making an end map. And again, guys, for those who are wondering about the end map, I'm going to be posting that once I finish it. I'm just kind of chipping away at it, since we know that the end, it will never expand again. All right. So here, and I won't, oh wow, we have phantoms. We probably should sleep. Is there a bed in here? Of course there's not. But these two houses have, oh, here's a bed right here. Have just, you know, the little places to, you know, look like there are people living there, little houses. I am thinking about something, maybe make like a little town center area on the west side of my base and make some houses, and then like put, you know, put for rent for, you know, X number of diamonds if people need, you know, if they're in my area, they could come. But yeah, I do think that we're gonna have to be dealing with the phantom. So, all right, and this is an original make. This is at my the shopping district. I have to remake this, but I gotta put a couple of things here. But it's like little market stall. I love market stalls, guys. They're great, and yeah, like just a fun way to kind of use some of this space that's kind of here, and it looks kind of cool. It really makes it look like there's stuff here. All right, and now we're here. This is a chest monster, guys. You guys see all these things? All of these shulker boxes loot from trial chambers. And there's a couple here that actually are full sets of discs. I will not show those off as there's just no need for it. But this was my original storage before my new storage on my west side of my base. This does still hold some items, but like it just doesn't hold as many items as it originally had. So there's like this is where I hold like my most valuable stuff on that chest specifically, because I very bad with organization. And you can see that I had partially done all this. Let's be honest, guys. I just have to eventually move all this. So this is my original storage room, and I really, really like it. All right, so this first section here, outside of this little sit-in area, it's a nice kind of cozy area that kind of, you know, you'd see the valley here. It's nice for sunsets. It's nice for sunrises. It's just a great place to, you know, chill out. I think it's a very, very great place. Just to be here. All right, we have our map. You guys can see here. Let's like get an offhand here. You guys can see right there. This is my east side of my base, and then down here is my west side. And I call it my west side because it's west of my east side of my base, but it's going west. There's a road that goes down, and it goes west exclusively. That is why I call it my west side. A lot of people are probably like, well, it's south or southwest, but because of how the road goes, it goes west, and the road is not finished. But because of that reason, it is called my west side. And Quirky, you'll hear this name in a future video. But great, you know, map art. Love the map art, man. Like, great job, Quirky. It's fantastic. All right. Now, down here, this is my farming area. So the first section pretty much up here is my main area. And before we get down here, I'm going to fly up, and then we can I can show this area off. This is my villager breeder. This is my villager breeder. And it's manual, guys, so you guys probably see a few shulker boxes. That's just for the rotten flesh trade. Right here is actually an abandoned building. So here on Bloom SMP, there's a lot of buildings and abandoned, and bases. My base is so big, I don't actually know what to do with this. So this is kind of an abandoned building. So it's my only abandoned building on this server, guys. So it's really intriguing, honestly. And again, here's the original thing. Wow, I totally whiffed that. There we go. Sigh. Wow, I cannot do this, guys, apparently. There we go. So the little church here, that was original. And now, welcome to Fossil Road, ladies and gentlemen. Fossils, I'm not going to go into all this. I'm going to do a compilation of videos of who did who. But up here, Cal Caroots has 2 that was found. Pele Screw, it was the first one I got on the base. And then Jenny Banan. I don't know if Jenny ever plays the server much anymore. But... And every video, every one I'll do of this thing, I'll just do the whole compilation stuff. But yeah, there's, like I said, there's 2 more that need to be added, and one of them's probably going to end up like right here. It's like kind of off to the side. I have to, I'll be doing some terraforming, but there's going to be like probably one right here and then one right here. Since they're both heads, they're going to be really easy to put in. All right, so 2 more on that. Here's my memory memorial. You guys will see a lot of pains here. A future video of the Pain Wars will come out in the near future. But a couple of things I do want to note. This was my first Elytra, my first good loot. I'll show you guys what I got. Oh, whoops. And I'll show you. It's not very good, but I did find something from that specific city. And this was from a previous video that I talked about earlier on, where a player actually blew up their own base. This was over 3 months ago. First trade of the box. There was a box that was made, and then I almost died in the hole. There's a little bit of context on this one. This actually might need a whole video in of itself, because just for the history of my own personal base. And there's all kinds of things. We have the Easter egg events that we did. A couple of god apples that were found under my arena. And by the way, all 3 of these things were found under my arena, which is insane. More Easter egg. These were some of the rewards people got. I eventually got this. And then the biggest clutch in MC history, saving Hawkeye crafts. That needs a whole video in of itself, honestly. Because, let's be honest, that's going to be just fun. And we got Birkin's head for the first. I'm pretty sure there's 2 or 3 players ever that have Birkin's head. It's a super rare head. And then another one, I had to burn 3 diamonds in lava because this was a. I got I got toast by a troll, so that was kind of fun. Villagers here. The shopkeeper increased trophy, and I'll do the history of how the shop came to be very soon. That's not gonna be a super big video, but I got an admin kill here. Then a couple of banned players. There's an anonymous player. I don't even know who gave this, by the way. Deep Slate Emerald Ore. Don't even know who gave that. So just a few things, and this was my first ever Ancient City raid, and you guys saw that on the first one. All right. And that's my memory memorial. A couple of these will have videos with them. I just need to go find them or record them. But yeah, I'm gonna have to ask Hawkeye if he has anything about that, because that was a really crazy clutch from his perspective. All right. So coming around here, we have Axolotl Aquarium, which really doesn't work anymore. You can see a couple axolotls. And by the way, guys, this floor made by me. The rest of this interior by Haluva, a player who used to be a staff member. Don't see them on much anymore, but a lot of just was fun to see how people work with the blue, and how they get the inspiration. So thank you again, Haluva. We got the sniffers. So yeah, sniffers here. We have pigs and sheep and cows that spawn in here too, so this is kind of really cool. It's a fun one. Alright, and then this is a little barn area. This is very, very weak, but we got a skeleton horse. We got the trader llama, and this despawned, but this was originally another llama. And then we got Wooly here, which I'll pull in. We got a little Wooly here. But no, I'm not like the craziest ever on interior, but I think it was still a pretty fun build to make. Alright. I think that's all. Yep. That's on this. That's on the east side. This is kind of, like I said, this is in 3 sections. This is like the memorial, kind of like chill area, kind of like, you know, personal stuff. This next section is going to be my farms, and it starts really down here. This is my bamboo farm, which looks like it's almost full. I'll probably have to do something, but this is a small bamboo farm. It's done a great job, honestly, as you see that it just went off. This is a sugarcane farm, but not originally a sugarcane farm. That building that you saw that was abandoned earlier, that was where my sugarcane was built. And eventually, I went on to make a prismarine here, and this was originally a pumpkin farm. So a small pumpkin farm was made, and then that got transferred to that build over there. You can barely see behind the trees. We'll eventually get to that. But yeah, this was not originally a sugarcane farm, ladies and gentlemen. So we end with the semi-automatic bone meal farm. There's not a lot of bone meal in here. This is also where I hold my seeds for the Valley of Wheat. We'll get to the Valley of Wheat here in a minute. Here's my super smelter. I need to make a second one because of the event that had happened on the server, which I have to, by the way, get in my memory memorial. This was actually too slow. I needed 2 super smelters to get going. All right, so this is my kind of my mining silo. This is almost full, guys. I'm going to show you here on the opposite side. I'll show you here. Oh my goodness, can I get it? You see that there's no more blocks going through? Once this is full, it will be 100% full. This is probably 90% full. This is where I hold my netherrack in big bulk. Because there's a few other blocks in here, which I don't really care too much about. But yeah, like that's 4 chests, 5 chests of this. This is almost full as well. All right, to the honeycomb farm. And by the way, guys, like this is totally what it is. This is my honeycomb block stash. Eventually, once that like is almost full, I'm going to transfer a couple rows over to my west side of my base to get a new spot in. This is my wool farm, and you guys will see this is not actually done, but I've left it this way up here. Sometimes you get some flowers, you get some sweet berries. It's kind of like a nice like area where you can like maybe eat some like berries or whatever, and it's just kind of cool, and it's a nice way to get out if players get in. So it's, you know, players can get in and out. So this is kind of cool. And by the way, guys, we have an honorary sheep with the cow. There was a cow that eventually got in, so that's kind of funny. But yeah. All right. So over here behind this honeycomb farm, we have our sea pickle farm, and this is full, guys. Not quite full, I say, but like that dispenser got filled up recently, and so now we just kind of go back and forth, boom, and this is a freaking noise machine. Like it's so loud. That's why I rarely use it, and I'm afraid it lags the server. So I know it probably won't, but you know, there's still a part of me that's like it might. And that always puts a little bit of wariness on me. Here's my my pumpkin farm. This is my melon farm. All right. Let's see how full this is. Oh, wow. This is gonna have to, after this video, I'm gonna have to empty this because melons are so good. All right. Here's my pumpkin farm. This one's a little smaller than my melon farm. I thought about doing 2 or 3 levels of this, but I just chose not to because I get enough pumpkins as is. Like, I just don't need that many. Let's see how this is doing. Yep, a couple stacks in each of the chests. Not too bad. All right. Now, going to this new area outside of this cactus farm. This is a full cactus farm, guys. Like, I don't know what to do with it because, you know, I thought about selling cactus. I don't really know outside of this. This thing's almost full again. Like, I took a whole double chest out of there and I put it into the west side of my base, and so I have so much cactus, I just don't know what to do with it. All right. Right here, guys, before I get to this over the rest of this area, over here, guys, this build right here, this was a old style potion dispensary, and guys, I'm gonna be honest with you, it doesn't work. It just doesn't, guys. Like, I think there was a redstone change with this because you see how this works. It doesn't power the piston anymore, which it originally had done. So this is kind of a dead build, but it's still fun to kind of have for the history of my base. All right, and that's a first time build, by the way, guys. So from here to this next few, these are first time builds. So I've never made a kelp farm before, and I thought this was fun to make. Oh my goodness, is this thing full? Oh my word. I'm going to have to do something about that because it's almost full, honestly. It's very close to full. Here's my cocoa bean farm, and I don't even use this farm anymore, guys, because there's no reason to have cocoa beans outside of just being able to store so much of it. So I don't even I just rarely use it. But it is another old design, and it's not even finished, by the way. I totally forgot about this finish. Like, there needs to be glass here, and there just isn't. All right, and right here we have a sea turtle farm, and I'll show you guys. Oh, the egg finally hatched. That's cool. That's nifty. Let's go. We got 5 turtle skew. I'm gonna have to make a helmet and make the first helmet on ever from turtle skew. That's really nifty. And that's a first time farm as well, guys. Alright, and so we got through the first time farms. Now, let's see, where's my rockets? Alright, so we got these balloons, guys. First time ever making in the air too. So this was really cool. This was a secret project I shared with the server. Really, really fun to say the least. And the progress of it was left, right, middle. So left was the first one, the right one was the second one, and the middle one was that third one. And then there's a series of balloons that I make on my bases. All right, so okay, now we're here. I didn't even take the normal path, which is down there. But this is the Valley of Wheat. It looks like that way it goes infinite. I'll show you guys. This is the Valley of Wheat, and there's about 16 to 17,000 wheat. What the heck? There's a horse out here. That's cool. I didn't know horses could spawn here. But yeah, horses, this is the valley. The valley is going to go way out here, guys. Like, it's probably going to come to about here. Probably end somewhere around here. So I have like another 20 to 30,000 seeds I need. So when people say, oh man, and by the way, guys, this whole Valley of Wheat, outside of this little section that Hawkeye helped, I did it all myself. Nobody else helped me outside of a little section that Hawkeye Crafts made that helped me out. So it's been a fun project. I'll probably not finish the Valley of Wheat for a while just because it burns me out so badly. But it's fun. This is my favorite angle up here. I show this to people all the time. Like, it looks so cool, and that way it looks infinite. But this way you can definitely tell it does not. And I thought about it coming up here, but I'm like, nah, let's just like kind of have it keep going into that central valley. And there's a little area that kind of curves off with my road that goes that direction. But and this over here probably has 7 to 10,000 at most, or at the least. So I still have probably, close to another 30,000 at minimal, maybe 40,000 at minimal, and that's just wild, honestly. All right, so well, I guess if we include my arena here, it's a 4th section of base. But here's a CTF Stadium. I originally wanted to call it Bloom Stadium, but because of how close it was for copyright and stuff, and the staff was like, not quite. We don't quite want you to have, a stadium that's potentially not by us. So I did eventually go off with CTF Stadium, and this was a fun project, honestly. This took 3 weeks. Oh, it looks like someone's been removing blocks here, or Endermen. But you can see it goes so far that the render distance doesn't even make it. So like it's wild. Here in the central point you can see, I think, all of it. But yeah, there's about 10,000, which is crazy. The exact number is like 99 or like 9,900 like 80. But at that point I'm just gonna call it 10,000. But yeah, like if you want to be technical, you can call it that. Here is my balloons. Quell, a YouTuber who I had gotten the inspiration from, is where I got the balloons from, guys. So come check it out. Like, I'm not going to do a full thing of this, but just to say, barrels are so cool and they look really fun as like, like the stripes and to hold the balloon together. I think it's fantastic. And this was kind of the start of how I made my base. And this is the east side, like I said, but this first section right here, it just kind of happened. It just kind of came together, and I had accidentally, by the way, guys, when I was first making this area, I wanted all my farms together, and I didn't realize this until I think it was like a month, maybe into my base when stuff was like coming up, that my base was sectioned off into 3 parts: the Valley of Wheat, the normal part of my base, and my farm area. And again, if we want to include the arena, that's a 4th part. There's 4 different parts to my base, which is just crazy, honestly. So that's my east side of my base, and I'm not gonna do the whole like east and west highways that I have right now. Safe to say, this highway was griefed. Oh wow, look at that! Someone partly refilled it. Look at this, guys. It was filled with a different stone, and this was originally, guys, a little shack where players could, like, if they're in the area, they could come in the wilderness, maybe take some items. A creeper had blown it up, but it's kind of nice to just see the ruins of a little area here. And then someone had made a small base right here. And then after that, we're here on the west side of my base. Ah, yes. Hello, skeleton. And what's astonishing is none. Alright. Alright, west side of my base, guys. There's my actual base right there. And in that top section is my storage. It will eventually get changed to stairs because I want to use all the stuff. But this was my first build. We got a wolf sanctuary. So we got a couple of wolves. I think we have 2 different wolves, if I remember correctly. I'd have to double check, but yeah, we have the wolf sanctuary, and I want to collect all the wolves in Minecraft. And with the wolves, we're also making this a panda sanctuary, and thank you to somebody, I don't even remember who, but somebody said it was cinnamon roll for a brown panda, and I thought that was fantastic. And the intention wasn't even toward like a base or like an animal. I just thought the name was so good that I took it. It's like, so, and this is by far my most interior design kind of. Oh, that's disappointing. That's okay, it'll grow back soon. Alright, and this is a water tower right here. A little bit of water tower you can see dripping. And a little bit of warping kind of thing. I'll have to like make it a little better in the future, but water tower here. And this is probably the best section right here in this part of my base. This market area. This is where I would have put my market, my villagers for my stuff. And it was fantastic, honestly, because I was like, yo, let's just do this and, whatever. But eventually a shopping district was collected, but then people would have gotten to see the west side of my base. Alright, over here, I call this Storage City, and only this one silo is being used. I think this will eventually be used for all my prismarine stuff, but some prismarine, there's some stuff here, and then this is full, and that's almost full. With, you know, this middle section's not quite there. All right, and guys, coolest thing that I think most people will see here, a boat rack. I think this should be at all bases, to be honest. I think that's fun. I think it's just kind of cool. And players, please, you know, if you like the inspiration, I got this from Pinterest. So I don't even remember who's the one that made it, but it was so good. And I was like, you know what, this is awesome. And let's see if we can do this. Boop. You can be in here without suffocating. So that's kind of nifty. But yeah. So we got this little dock area that I haven't quite finished yet. It's just kind of started. But the big one here. Oh, but before this is actually one of my new builds here. This is my newest build here on the west side of my base. It's a little flower garden where it's like a cafe, but like you can be with honey. It's like with honey. It's fantastic, honestly, I thought. And you get the sky roof with it, and you get to see the bees that kind of roam around. It's so cool. Come check it out yourself because I think it's nifty. And yeah. But yeah, my newest build is this. All right. And now the main finale is my main base. And guys, this is not done. Like, I have just not had the motivation to do this, but like there's going to be 2 rooms here. And this is going to be a main kitchen area. So I'll have to find I know who I can get for this kitchen area. But I'm going to, this second floor is completely dry outside of this little section here. And then welcome to my storage area. This area, no joke guys, I've done the math, 800 double chests are in this area. No joke, no joke. This thing holds 2.8 million max. It actually might be 2.7. 2.7 to 2.8 million items can be stored here. Every individual item you see here is only that item outside of like 1 or 2 chests at most. And you guys can also see I have red sand, I have red sandstone. I'm working on a couple other things, but here's my quartz. Like the quartz is one I don't have a lot of, so I could put all that in. But I'll show you guys. Almost full lapis, full coal. Coal blocks are started. That's started. Redstone's full. That's cool. You guys will see this. This is 2 rows full. That's partly full. That's partly full. And then my emeralds have taken a huge dip because I've been buying a bunch of stuff. Oh, hey, there's my axe. That's cool. But yeah, here's my iron. Dirt's full. That's almost half full. This is where I held my copper. Let's see. And I'm holding all different types of boats in here, so I guess I'm trying to collect all the boats. But I have all the wood here, outside of maybe 1. But yeah. So this is my storage area. Like, I don't show this often to people. And by the way, guys, I have glass in here. That's full. Rockets are half full. So it's not like, you know, I don't have many resources. Like, the cherry saplings I don't really need, but, like, I have a lot of. There's a lot of things here I could choose to sell. I just choose not to because I think it could become a monopoly, and then staff would get angry with me because, I don't know. Right now, that storage area, I think, holds somewhere around the ballpark of 100,000 items. Give or take a couple, probably 10 or so thousand. And that's my base tour, guys. It's not like, you know, a lot of people are going to be like, whoa, this is crazy. But you guys got to remember, this has taken 3 to 4 months. 5 months I've made this base. And, you know, it's really cool to see how it's grown. But, you know, it's a different ballgame when you first start. It's a nostalgic feeling when you first start making bases. You know, you start from a little hut or something, and then you build, and you have to be committed to the base. And it's an amazing thing to see the creativity just go. And that's what I love about Minecraft. It's very creative to all, but if you choose not to be so creative, there's also other aspects of it, and that's awesome. I love it. And yeah, that's my base tour, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, guys, base tours take too long now. I can't do it with individual players anymore. And if I do it with players, it takes about 15 minutes, and I'm just kind of speed running it because it's too long. You guys will see in this video, it's just too long, and the history of this base will take longer. That's just a tour of my base. I'm gonna eventually start doing a tour series. I'll have to find some bases to tour in the future, but if you guys are interested, by the way, and you want me to tour your base, and it's a decent sized base, it's not as big as mine. Please don't be super big. If it is big, Hawkeye Crafts, Milu, if you're able to. If you ever watch this video, I'd like to do a tour of your base so that players can get an opportunity to see what's there, because there have been some really cool things that have happened there, including some things that you personally have made and other staff members have made there. So I'd like to of course, I'll reach out to Milu in the near future. And again, guys, if you want me to do your base, I'll do it. If the video is 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes long, awesome. I'd love to do it. Hawkeye, I know I'd love to do your base tour in the future, but I don't. But anyway, anyone else, go ahead. Set in the comments, please. Give me some chords or something, and I can do it for you guys. And yeah, with permission of players. So anyway, guys, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this base tour. It was very long, and like I said, guys, it's too long for me to do it with individual players anymore. My name is I'm a Slinky. Good night, everybody.